Welcome back. So in this video, we're talking about a few terminologies that will be used, you know, in this course and probably future courses that you might choose to enroll in on your course being a front-end web developer. Now, before I go into the terminologies of which, of course, you can see the first one again on the screen. Before I go into terminologies, I just feel it's ideal for me to give you this piece of advice as well, or piece of advice rather as well, and that is it is good to take notes while taking courses like this. Trust me, you have a lot to learn. There are so many things. I mean, so many things that you think your head will assimilate at once. I mean, I advise that you get a note dedicated to, coding. Take notes, write notes, because trust me, so many times you will need to recall some things and you will just have to come pick your head. So please get a note, a very big, good note, dedicated to just tech, dedicated to coding. Get a note and take notes down. I mean, see like you're in a real, a university class setting kind of where you take notes and go over them repeatedly, read them. It's a very good thing our advisors do. And also for this tutorial video, secondly, I would advise that you have a backup. I mean, ensure you have a good backup so that you don't wake up one morning and say, "Oh, I maybe you probably downloaded videos on your phone, and then you wake up one day and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I formatted my phone, or I lost my phone, or my memory card got corrupted, and you're like, okay, I need access to all the videos. Can you send it back? I'm not sure I'll be able to respond to such requests. So that's why I'm using this medium to advise you ahead. Ensure you have backups. Even if you have them on your laptop, if you have downloaded them on your laptops and you're watching them, if you have a flash drive, ensure you back them up. As a matter of fact, anything, not just the videos, your codes, your softwares that you're going to be using in your journey, your quest of being a front-end developer, your codes, softwares that you use, and tutorial videos like this, ensure you have all of them backed up. You don't want to lose them, on timing. All right. So talking about the terminology. Well, I believe everyone watching this video should know what internet means. The terminology internet, it's just simple. And we could actually have different complicated definitions for it, which might not be so ideal for this course. So the main thing you should understand is it is a global network of networks. It is just a bunch of connected computers. All right, the internet is the infrastructure that carries things like you can see the internet enables us to send email. I mean, from here I can send you my email as a student. The internet enables you to access the web. It enables file sharing as well. Just like I'm sure that I'm not. This video is getting to you not by physical contact. I'm sharing them, with enablement of internet, online games, streaming services, and all of those things. So the internet is a global network of interconnected computers that communicate via TCP or IP. IP means Internet Protocol. Yeah, Internet Protocol. Why TCP here means Transmission Control Protocol. Well, don't get yourself bothered about those terminologies for now. Just know that Internet is a network of networks. All right, another thing you probably heard already and you always hear is the web. Probably heard that word even before you came to learn this course. The web, the World Wide Web is an information system and other resources are available over the internet. It's an information system where things are available over the internet. And we share files, we transfer documents via what we call HTTP. HTTP is one of those terminologies that you need to, I mean, you probably might have come across them before. Let me show you on the browser. All right, so this is MDM. It's a site I'm still going to introduce to us very soon. I'm sure you've probably seen this in most links. It starts with HTTPS. The S there stands for secured. It's a secured site. And just in case you don't know, transacting with a site whose URL doesn't contain this S, it's at your own risk. A secured site would always carry this S. If the site just has HTTP, you know that it is not very safe to transact over that site. So that is it's something you see everywhere. And then when you send things, when you send informations, make, we call them HTTP requests. For instance, now, if I type on Google, if I type on my Google search, I say Google, okay, this is my Google page, and I say, give me anything, just anything related to, for instance, front end developer salary per month, which we checked in previous videos. I'm sending an HTTP request to Google's server. I'm sending an HTTP request to Google server. So that is one there, and it's the foundation of communication on the World Wide Web. The foundation of communication on the World Wide Web. HTTP itself stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So it's the foundation of communication on the World Wide Web, and the terminology itself stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. And with it, you make requests. I would like this information that we just checked on Google. Okay, here you go. For instance, search here now. Let's just check. Let's search for HTML. If you are making a request saying, give me information about HTML, and then it sends a request and brings back a response. It brings back a response. So you make your request with the server checks the database and brings you back a response. And that leads to the next terminology, web server. Alright, web server is simply a computer that can satisfy requests on the web. Server is also used to refer to the software running on the computer. Just like we did it for Google. Hello Google, give me, I can search for anything. I can search for chickens, search for HTML, search for, search for somebody. I can search for news, I can search for, I can just say, okay, Google, give me the latest news on maybe anything, latest news. Look at this on Korede Bello. Korede Bello is a Nigerian music artist. So I'm making the request. When I type enter, it takes my request and sends it to the server. It sends it to the server, and once it gets to the server checks the database. Okay, and then if there is anything like that, it brings. If there is nothing like that on that particular server of the site from which you are requesting, it probably gives you an error message. Like we have here, server gives you, I'm terribly sorry, but I don't know WCA you're talking about. Of course, your server will not tell you this, but you probably might just find some error messages. So we also have the terminology client. It's a terminology that you probably hear very often as a developer. The client simply talks about the computer itself that accesses the server. So in this case now, where I'm trying to access Google server, this computer, my device here is the client. I'm sending a request, an HTTP request from the client to Google server, and Google server sends a response back to me. You should know that every site has their server. Every site runs on a server. So if I'm searching, for instance, let me check on Bootstrap. If I'm on Bootstrap server and I make a request, my client is still my client. This is still the client. I can make a search. Let me see. They should have a search bar somewhere around. Okay, this is a search icon. I make a search and I search for something. It goes to check on Bootstrap server, and if that thing is there, if not, it will bring out available option, and if not, it will probably just bring an error message. So that is what the client is. And like I illustrated earlier, look at this. I make a request on Google search. I'm requesting for information about silky chickens. It sends the information, it tells the server to give me any information you have on silky chickens. And then it checks the database and it sends. Now you should understand that what the server sends back is not actually what you see, but our browser has the software that can transform information. Let me show you an example of the information that the server gives you normally. Now, look at this page. It is reasonable to the eyes, I believe. A layman can come to this site and understand quite a few things. By the way, this is Bootstrap. This is something that you're going to learn. I mean, in the CSS. That's for those who choose or who prefer to advance the CSS class. Alright, so let me right click. This is what you see here. Oh, okay. Let me still use this search. Now let me click on the search I did initially. I have the search, and then these are the options it brought about from different sites. Can you see? Now, this is sensible to our own eyes, but trust me, this is not exactly what the server. This is not exactly what the server says. I'm going to right click on my server on my browser. You can try that. Right click and then look at the option View Page Source. I click on View Page Source, and we're going to see the exact thing. This is what the server sent back in response to our search. But you can see it's just a bunch of, it looks like a bunch of jargons, but it's just a bunch of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So this is the language of the server. This is what is sent back actually. This is what is sent back. We'll go back to the normal page. So this is it here. Let's go back to the normal page. Now the question is, how does this transform? How does this this jargon-like language, how does it transform? That is the work of our browser. Our browser has inbuilt softwares that can read HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code and represent them in a form that is understandable, that is meaningful, that is sensible to human eye. So you can just I give you this assignment. Open your Facebook page use your laptop or your desktop to open your Facebook account and just right click and click on the view page source and see what it brings. That is what that is what the server returns back. And then of course you can see everything it returns. The content is HTML code, which is what we are learning now, CSS codes, and JavaScript. This is JavaScript and this is CSS. It sends it back. The browser, picks everything, all these codes, and represents them in a way that is understandable. Alright, so in the next video I will just talk a bit about the front end and the back end. See you in the next video.